Mr. Sodder, is your house on fire? My home, the house I had built with so much love, was on fire. I rushed downstairs. I woke my wife and Pedro. I was screaming for my kids. The kids. We have to go.
Hello everyone, welcome to Mystery Tales.
Hello, mystery lovers. Welcome to Mystery Tales. It was the winter of 1945. The air was cold, as always. But inside our home, there was nothing but warmth and love. It was Christmas Eve. The kids were filled with excitement, playing and laughing. George Jr. and Maurice, my older boys, were already asleep upstairs. Betty, Louise, Martha, and Jenny were all tucked into their small bedroom upstairs. Only my youngest boy, Pedro, was still with us, with me and my wife Jenny downstairs. That night was not meant to be like any other night. At 12:30 a.m., the phone rang. It was a neighbor. His voice was filled with terror. He asked, "Mr. Sodder, is your house on fire?" At first, I didn't understand. Everything seemed normal. But when I hung up the phone, I looked out the window. My home, the house I had built with so much love, was on fire. I rushed downstairs. I woke my wife and Pedro. I was screaming for my kids. The kids. We have to go. My wife, her face terrified, ran for the stairs. But the staircase was gone, lost in the smoke and flames. There was no way up. We ran outside. In the chaos, I could only think of one thing. My children. I had my truck ready to go. I wanted to use a ladder and rescue the kids through the windows, but my truck wouldn't start. No matter how many times I turned the key, I only heard a weak, choking sound. The truck had never behaved like that before. It was as if something or someone didn't want us to leave. We had a ladder next to the house, but when I looked for it, it was gone. I later found out it had been moved in a strange way, but in that moment, I couldn't find it. The fire department finally arrived, but they could only put out the flames. They told me there was nothing left of the kids. They burned in the fire, but I didn't believe it. How could 5 bodies simply vanish? No remains were found, not a single bone. It was as if they had never existed. Days, weeks, and months passed after that night. The fire was out, but the fire of doubt in my heart burned even hotter. Everyone said, "Mr. Sodder, your kids died in the fire, and there's nothing left of them." But I didn't believe it. A pathologist later told me that a body needs to burn for several hours at an extremely high temperature to be completely consumed. Our fire was out in less than an hour. I started searching. Every day, every hour, I looked through the ashes of my home for the slightest trace of them. Then, a few months later, we finally found some bones. My heart trembled. A sign. But the authorities said they were from an animal. Their words were like a knife in my heart. It was a blatant lie. Why were they lying to me? Why didn't they want the truth? In the years that followed, strange things kept happening. The phone from the public phone booth that had occupied our line on the night of the fire was found, and it was tampered with. A man in the street told my son Luis that he was keeping my kids in a safe place. Then, years later, a woman sent us a photo of a young man and claimed he was George Jr. His face was so much like my son's, with eyes that looked at us with the same deep sadness. It was as if he was saying, "I am here, but I cannot come home." It was a never-ending search. We spent tens of thousands of dollars on billboards with our children's faces. We traveled to every corner of the world to follow every single lead. Every phone call, every letter, every piece of news was a glimmer of hope. But each time, the truth escaped us like a shadow. To this day, the disappearance of the Sodder children remains a great mystery. Did they really die in the fire? Or did something or someone take them from me that night? There are too many unanswered questions left in the ashes of that home. And the only thing I know for certain is that my 5 children did not die in that fire on Christmas Eve. They vanished, and that is the most terrifying thing a father can ever imagine. If you enjoyed this mystery story, you're sure to be amazed by our next story. This is one of the strangest criminal cases in history that was never solved.